Here are the requirements to apply for a US visa on your Jamaican passport, how to apply, and also when to apply. To travel to the United States on your Jamaican passport, you're going to need a US visa. It doesn't matter if you were just born or you're very, very old. Every Jamaican passport needs a US visa. The only exception is for residents of the United States. To apply for the US visa, the process is pretty simple. The US Embassy is one of the very few embassies that do not require you to produce any documents in order to apply for the visa. To submit your visa application, all you have to do is complete your DS-160 form online and then schedule your appointment at the US Embassy. The US Embassy is also one of the very few embassies that does interviews in order to issue visas. I think that is one of the reasons why they do not require you to provide any documents, because they assess your eligibility based on your interview. So you're going to do your DS-160 application, you're going to schedule your appointment, and then you're going to go in for your interview. The required documents that you need to go into your US visa interview are your passport, a passport size photograph, and the DS-160 confirmation page. Now onto the supporting documents, or the documents that are not needed. And the information I'm providing to you is for tourist visas, and keep in mind these are general requirements as they may vary based on applicant and your personal situation. An applicant can bring supporting documents such as bank statement, proof of assets, an invitation letter, or a job letter to their US visa interview. You will determine what documents you bring based on the purpose of your travel. So for example, let's say you're going for a business conference, which is the same visa as the tourist visa that is going to be issued to you. Then you would bring information from your job as well as information about where you're going and the event you're attending. Let's say you're going to a funeral, then you bring information about the person that died and their relationship to you. Let's say you're going to a wedding, a graduation, or whatever event you're attending, then you'd bring information about that event to your US visa interview. Of course, it varies case by case, and each applicant just needs to assess their personal situation in order to determine what they need to bring. But the supporting documents are not required. So for example, a traveler that is just going on vacation to stay in a hotel, they're not required to bring in any documents, but it's always good to have your supporting documents in case the interviewer does not believe what you're saying and needs proof to verify. The best time to apply for your visa is when you're ready to travel. That is, you have plans to travel within the next 2-3 months or within a year, then you can start making plans to apply for your visa. If you don't have any immediate plans, don't apply for the visa. It's always good to have solid plans for travel because it makes it easier for you in the interview to explain your purpose of travel. That brings us to the next thing, the questions they ask you in the interview. There is no set rhetoric as to the questions they're going to ask you in the interview. There's no way for us to know in advance what they're going to ask you. It's an interview. But some general questions that they usually ask is where you're going, what do you plan to do in the US, how long you plan to stay, how do you plan to pay for the trip, and questions about your personal situation, as in who you live with, your family information, or do you have any kids. In most cases, once you're able to clearly state your purpose of travel and provide information about yourself, the visas are usually granted. We know that everyone is not going to be granted a visa. This is why we advise you only apply when you're ready to travel. If you're ready to start applying for your US visa today, you can send us an email at travelhappystart@gmail.com for assistance, or you can just do it yourself by visiting the US Embassy website, filling out the DS-160 form, and scheduling your appointment. If you would like assistance with doing it yourself, if you're a DIY person, then you can always just book a consultation with us by also sending us an email at travelhappystart@gmail.com. All the links for assistance is also in our bio. You can visit our website to view required documents for all visas so you can get started on your next vacation. See you in Foreign!